Daytime Chicago is sponsored by Gateway Foundation.
With all that we've been through the last couple of years, mental health issues are on the rise, and some people have been self-medicating to cope. To find out how we can recognize some of these behaviors in our loved ones, we have Dr. Teresa Garate from Gateway Foundation and Jamel Tillman, a Gateway treatment grad. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Let's start with you, Doctor. What do we look for in our friends and family members to a point where we realize they may need to get some help?
Yeah, it's a great question. September is National Recovery Month, and as you said, the last 2 years have been very difficult. Addiction is a disease of isolation. So I think a lot of people are together at home, so if you notice any changes in behavior, depression, your family members, your loved ones withdrawing, not being as accessible, maybe hiding some things, those are some indications. A lot of people who were in recovery successfully relapsed during this time, and a lot of people who maybe did not have a substance use disorder became very depressed and anxious with all of the uncertainty about the future and started using now in this time. So any changes in behavior at all could be an indication of a problem.
And Jamel, you are 2 years sober now?
Yes,
congratulations.
I just celebrated my 2 years sobriety.
That's amazing.
Yes.
It must have been difficult for you during this pandemic. As we mentioned, a lot of people were isolated from other people. How did you get through it? Maybe you can help other people who are kind of in that space.
What I did was, because I am a graduate of Gateway, it was a wonderful time for me to develop some coping skills. But with that, people who may not have been through residential treatment, you want to try to stay connected with positive people. I'm a faith-based person, so if you're a faith-based person, stay close to your God, your church, your pastor. Try some meditation, some music. Try to keep yourself in an environment that may keep you out of that negative space that's in your mind. And those are some of the things that I do to maintain my long-term recovery today.
Did you realize you needed help, or did somebody have to bring it to your attention?
Well, people were bringing it to my attention for a number of years, let's say that, and I have had my struggles with alcoholism in the past. But it wasn't about me recognizing I needed help. It was me having the courage to seek help. And I was in a very dark place a couple of years ago. I realized that I had prioritized everything around my disease, my alcoholism, versus anything that regular people were doing on a daily basis, whether it was job, whether it was hygiene, whether it was family gatherings. That always seemed to be the first thing before anything else. So that was it, and I just looked around one day and didn't know who I was, didn't know where I was, and didn't know where I was going. And I prayed, and the first thing that came to mind was Gateway. Honestly, it did.
That's wonderful. And I know that you guys have levels of recovery, correct? Different types of program, because people use alcohol and drugs on different levels too.
Absolutely. In Illinois, we have 16 centers that provide the full continuum of treatment. So we have residential treatment, which is what Jamel did, and congratulations, as well as outpatient, intensive outpatient. We actually now have a virtual program, so Gateway Connect. People can access treatment anywhere from their home. And we also have long-term supports through our virtual recovery support program. So we have peer coaches that engage with graduates like Jamel to make sure that they have the support that they need to stay in long-term recovery.
I know a lot of people are probably sitting at home going, yeah, I was having a couple more cocktails during the pandemic, and I don't know if I've gotten to a point where I need help. How do they gauge that?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're asking yourself that question, that's an indication, so a lot of people don't know that during the pandemic, alcohol sales went up by 35%. Yeah. Almost 100,000 people died of an overdose last year, which is almost 30,000 more than the year before, the highest number ever. So if you're home and you're questioning yourself, then you should probably step back and say, you know what, maybe I need to call somebody and just have a screening. And you can call our number, which is on the screen, and we can definitely do something on the phone and even just give you some guidance. So we're there to help. Obviously, we want to provide treatment, but we also want people to be aware that treatment is possible and accessible. I think something Jamel said was very important is you have to have the courage to make that phone call. And if it's for a loved one, you have to have the courage to make that phone call for them.
Because how do we erase the stigma with this? I mean, alcoholism, it's a disease. Drug addiction, it's a disease.
It's a disease of the brain. It's very difficult for people to understand because it's intangible and invisible. It's not a moral failing. I think the more that we have conversations like this, the more that we talk about it and tell your story, people have the courage to tell their story or their story of a loved one. I think that goes a long way. Our CEO, who is very open about this, is a person living in long-term recovery. And every time he shares that, it goes a long way. It's a very powerful to say this is not a moral failing. You don't have a choice. We no longer use the word addict. We no longer use what is your drug of choice because it's not not a choice. Just like it wasn't my choice to get breast cancer, it's not a choice. This is a disease of the brain. And I think that's how we end the stigma.
And I think, Jamel, you coming forward especially too, it's got to be huge for a lot of people to see, because you are to your sober, you are living your life, and you can still live a life and have it day to day. You don't have to look at 10 years, right?
Correct, and that's the whole reason why I was very excited about this interview from a live perspective, because we are about destigmatizing this disease, because it is an obsession and compulsion and an allergy of the mind, and a lot of times we don't understand it. People that love us don't understand it, and sometimes we don't understand it ourselves, and that's one of the things that I gained going through Gateway, was the understanding of what these things mean, that I carried on, because I am a member of a 12-step program of recovery, and in that instance, it helped instill those values on a day-to-day basis, that I don't have to swallow this all at once. You know, if I'm successful for that day, that is great gains for my next day and my next day. You know, I don't regret the past, and I don't shut the door on it. I just want to see how my experience can benefit others, and that's why I'm here, because I had a life before now, but this life is just so much better. You know, not a lot of shame, not a lot of guilt, and I'm just here to tell people to give themselves a chance. And if you have someone out there that you think is having some of these issues, just try to help encourage them to give themselves a chance, because you never know what's going to come out of it. Just walk in those doors, pick up that phone, see what somebody can do to help you, because we cannot do this alone. It takes these shows, it takes people like Gateway, you know, and just people in our fellowship and around us in our general community to show that we can do this, and we'll do this together. And I'm so glad it's National Recovery Month. And I'm here to say all this because I love what my life is today.
Well, thank you both so much for being here and sharing your stories, because a lot of people definitely need to hear it right now. That's for sure.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, for more information about Gateway Foundation, you can visit the website you saw there on your screen, and we'll also have it on our webpage as well.